Today we're going to be learning about binary code. We're going to learn how to read and write it, and we're going to learn why computers use it. We're doing this in order to build a better understanding of how technology works around us. You'll know you're successful today when you can read and write in binary code. So today we'll talk about what is it and why we use it. We'll learn how to read it, and we'll make a flip card that will make it a lot easier to read. So binary code is something that computers use to communicate. Binary code is a code that uses symbols 1 and 0 to represent numerical and alphabetical information. So it's a whole code written of just ones and zeros. So imagine when people were inventing numbers. What if they had made a different symbol for every number, and when you got to 10, the numbers had to be different? That would get very confusing, and that would lead to a lot of symbols. So instead, we use a base 10 system. The first spot means ones, then when we add 2, we know that means tens and hundreds and thousands. How did we get those numbers? Again, 10 to the 0 power is 1. 10 to the first power is 10. 10 to the second power is 100, and so on and so forth. Now, this is just one of the ways that we can count. Our ancestors probably used a base 10 system because we have 10 fingers. Now imagine, and instead of using 10, we only had 2. So the first spot would mean it's 2 to the 0 power, which is 1. The second spot would mean 2 to the first power, which is 2. The third spot would mean 2 to the 2 power, that's 4. And so wherever the zeros and ones are, that's what it would be. Now in binary code, there's many reasons why we use this. Imagine lining a group of people up and asking them how tall they are. They might say, this person's tall and this person's not. Well, if we added a group of basketball players, that question may change. If we added a group of third graders, that question may change. So binary code allows the computer to make decisions quickly by saying, this is tall, this is short. So binary allows the computer to make quick decisions with ones and zeros. It allows computers to send and store more complex data because instead of having to make all these different decisions, they just have to decide, is it a 1 or a 0? A 1 or a 0? So how do you read binary code? If you look at this example, 10010. You would start by any place that there's a 0, it would be just absolutely 0. Wherever there's a 1, that's where you would add up the place value. So in this case, I have a 1 in this spot, which equals 1, and I have an 8 in this spot. So this answer would equal 9. So let's look at a couple more examples. So we have 0011. So that means I only have a 1 in this spot and a 1 in this spot. That would be 3. Again, this would be a 1 in the first spot, a 0, and then a 1. So if we go backwards, we would have a 1 here and a 1 here. 1 plus 4 equals 5. So let's see if we're right. That equals 5. Here's another example. We have a 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So again, if we go back, we have a 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So 1 plus 16 would be 17. Now we're going to make a chart together that helps us better learn binary code.